me to sing a song first? Can I sing a song first?
Hello, and welcome to the Parking Lot Projectionists podcast. My name is Andrew Height.
And I am Raymond Yara.
And today we saw It Follows.
Ooh, spooky horror movie. First year on the PLP podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody's excited. Everybody should get excited for this.
Raymond,
Scary.
what is It Follows about?
It Follows is a 2014, because IMDb doesn't know how to update their shit, horror movie. After a young girl gets involved in a sexual confrontation, she is followed by an unknown force. This movie stars Maca Monroe, Keir Gilchrist, Olivia Lacardi, Lily Seep, people that you don't know, and is directed and written by David Robert Mitchell and one other person too. Nope, just him. All right, are we ready to kick this off?
Yeah, sure.
It Follows starts out, young lady in her heels, guess she just came from a party or something.
Was in a nighty top, very short shorts, just running out at dusk.
Raymond
into the
ain't
street.
complaining.
She's panicking. She's running out of her house.
Camera's following, the neighbor looks at her like, oh, you all right? Oh, you okay? What are you doing? You going to work with that on?
She's hyperventilating in the middle of the street. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
So the neighbor's like, okay, I guess.
All right, I'm finna get my groceries out. Shoot, I ain't got time for this. Neighbor takes her groceries out. You hear the door open. She just looking, she starts hyperventilating even more. Stands there. The door opens again. Her dad comes out. He's like, are you okay, honey? She's like, yeah, I'm fine.
And then she just runs around something that's not there.
Goes back inside.
The dad follows her in. You all right, honey? And then she just comes running back out the door
without the
again.
heels on. I was like, why are you running with heels on when I first saw it? It's stupid. She got in her car, drove far, far away.
For some reason, the dad never came out running. Hey, where you going? What's
She
going
probably
on?
said she was going to the beach. She didn't. Well, anyway, she drove to the beach. Sitting there in the dark on the beach.
Very nice shot.
You like that shot?
Yeah, she's isolated with the ocean at her back, so no one can come from the ocean. She's got sand everywhere so she could look for footprints and crap.
Man, that thing could swim.
We do not have evidence that that thing can swim.
We'll get to that later.
There's no evidence.
There was evidence.
There's no evidence. There's no evidence. No.
Okay.
There's still no evidence.
Anyways.
It could have floated.
So, her cell phone rings. Like, hey, Dad. Tell Mom I love her. I love you, too.
But she was leaving a message.
No, her phone rang.
Okay.
And she picked it up. It's like, yeah, no, I'm okay. She said, no, I'm okay. I know, I'm sorry.
It didn't sound like anybody...
Like somebody was talking to her?
It didn't really seem like somebody was actually talking to her. Maybe that was just the fault of the acting. It just
Ooh,
seemed...
who was that young lady's name again? Let me
No,
find her.
it just seemed like she was leaving a final message. It didn't sound like she was actually in a conversation.
Was not in the conversation. Anyway, she's like, yeah, I love you. Tell Mom I love her. Sorry I was mean to you guys. Such a bad person. I got $20 in my drawer. You guys can use that later. All right, bye. Screen cut to daytime, and she dead. With her leg propped up for some reason.
She just had a bad game of Twister on the beach.
Yeah. That would happen.
I mean, we didn't actually see her get assaulted or anything. They had all this buildup, like it was about to go down and we were going to get to see it. And then it just cuts and she's, okay, she did some yoga and it went horribly wrong.
That was it.
Legs broken.
It was just up in the air. Just one leg broken. That's how it killed her, with just a leg? Okay. Next. Shit, I don't even remember.
We cut to a young blonde female named Jay just floating along, stagnant in a pool in her backyard. And then she hears something and she looks over and there's some pervy kids. Yeah, it's a little boys.
Nasty kid looking. I don't blame them.
I see you.
Well,
Duck out of the way.
She's floating in this pool. I guess she's supposed to be enjoying life. The cinematography, looking up at the clouds, shots of the trees and some squirrels on the wires, power lines, and she's just looking at all this, taking it all in. Oh my God, I just love life.
She's not an active participant.
In life?
Yeah, she's stagnant at the beginning of this movie.
Because she's in the water?
That's her character development right there. She's literally not moving, just floating along as life is going on around her. Metaphor!
Metaphor it is.
Yeah! We rockin' the metaphors.
The little boys are like what she was, though. I was with them.
Hey,
I was in the bushes with them, like,
kids charging $1 a pop to see her metaphor.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, I see you. They duck down. She goes back into stagnant mode, and then they just pop up as like, I don't care. She didn't do anything. They keep watching.
What else? Do what I want.
Yeah, there was a separate little boys movie.
Ooh, that's a big good movie.
Yeah, PG-13 version of this movie where you just follow the kids, see what they're seeing as this whole horror movie's uncovered.
All right, so shit, I really don't remember the you gotta do the beginning of the movie.
Okay, I'll do it. Kelly, her sister, she comes outside. Hey, you're not doing anything. You want to hang out with us tonight? We're gonna rent a couple of 50s black and white sci-fi movies and fart on the couch. You want to play?
I don't think they rented those, Andrew. I think that was the actual TVs. I didn't know what time period this movie took place in.
The future past.
Yeah, because they had their whole house was like a 70s type layout.
Two
and they had
TVs.
those, the two TVs. They had the one big one that was broken.
But
They had the
Yara was
small
from
one.
the future.
Yeah, Yara had a Polly Pocket that had an LED screen reading books on it.
Some sort of shell Kindle, dual screen shell Kindle that you
Girl
can flip
was,
up.
yeah, she was the only future person in this movie. And why Jay was outside while everybody else was inside was very weird. So Yara and, what's the boy's name again? Paul.
Poor
Yara.
Paul. You forget Paul's name.
Yo, Paul was, look, the beginning of this movie this movie takes a while to get it going, to get started, yo. Oh, it was just so.
You were expecting something completely different where it's gonna engage you right from the beginning.
I was hoping it would engage me, but
it's more like a classic 70s horror movie where you gotta watch.
Oh, yes, it is.
Where you gotta watch everything develop slowly, which explains
very slowly.
where you have to build relationships with characters and stuff, and they have long, drawn-out one-shot takes of scenes.
Just get to the killer.
But
She
this film has a message he wants to tell you, Raymond.
Ain't got no message in this film. What the message was? Don't have
Spoilers.
spoilers. Don't have spoilers. Okay. So she goes in there, puts her wet hair on her sister, is like, stop just annoying her sister and whatnot.
Sister smacks her across the room.
Yeah. Smacks her around.
And Paul's just staring at her. And
Paul's looking at her
she's
like, wow.
so beautiful. She's
so-
so perfect.
Yeah, it would have been great. He should have been doing that. Obviously, Paul is a friend in love with her.
Very awkward, but he hangs out with the sister. Why does the sister hang around? Just because they work at the same yogurt shop?
Yeah, they work at the same yoga shop.
All
Well,
right.
they've been all friends since they were younger. And they work at the yoga shop. Anyways, cuts to her and her sister walking. The sister's all like, yeah, I smoke. Mom doesn't care, blah, blah, blah. They walk past, I think it was Greg.
Greg washing
Greg's
a car.
a neighbor, like a few houses down, washing his
Any way you
car.
want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. And he just drops the suds.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I dropped it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Jay and Kelly are like, what the fruit?
Yeah.
And they just keep walking.
Move forward quickly, quickly.
And then the camera takes us into Greg's perspective as we creepily watch them go into the house. So we've established that Greg has a station wagon.
Yeah. Greg's got a car, which is going to come into play later on in the movie.
But they
everybody.
have a car too that they drive.
They
so
do.
So what's the big deal?
Well,
Okay,
they're walking
spoilers.
at that point. I think the mom's got a car. They can't use it. No, Charlie's got the car. Spoilers, not Charlie. Paul got a car later on.
Charlie?
I said Charlie. I don't know why. I get that kid confused with everybody. Paul's got a car later on that gets used in the movie.
She drives to and from her college in a car. Jay.
We never saw her
She drove
drive.
to the yogurt shop after her class.
Are you sure she drove or they just cut to her at the yogurt
They
shop?
have a shot of her going under a highway bridge and then
Oh, that's
driving
right.
to the
That's right.
yogurt
That
shop.
was under highway.
She has a car.
We didn't see her in the car. That could have been a bus.
We see her drive a car. See her multiple times in this movie drive a car.
I believe
They
you.
don't need this man's Volkswagen. He's just got some sort of pimp mobile
He in a
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. He set it up because he wanted them to come.
Trying to tempt them. Meanwhile, they go inside.
So they go inside.
Oh, she's talking to her sister about how she's got this date with some guy named Hugh. And how do you feel about... Oh, we skipped the first date. The conversation happens after they had one date at a movie theater first.
Oh, that's why it's moving so damn slow, because we have unnecessary ass shit like this.
Yeah, so she goes on a nice little date. That's why she couldn't have the fart party with the other friends.
Yeah, there's like, hang out with us. And she's like, no, I'm going on a date with Hugh.
Gonna go see a movie.
So her and Hugh standing in line.
You want to do the who do you want to trade lives with game? Since we're so bored in line? It's like, you're bored in line?
Yeah, the audience bored this damn movie. Like, yeah, let's just pick a movie that the audience will rather see than this one that we're in right now. So yeah, they're supposed to guess. He's like, I got my movie. Is it Home? Nope, wrong. It's Get Hard.
Well, now we know Raymond's feelings. But what they were really doing was who they're going to trade places with. I'm only mentioning it the correct way because it's important. Because
It's not important.
it is important.
Yeah, it does play out. Okay.
Yeah, it is important because he points out he would have picked this little toddler who's being picked up by his parents to take a sip out of the water fountain. He's so happy. He's got his whole life ahead of him. I wonder what that would feel like. It would be so good to feel that again. Just the joy on this little kid's face.
Yeah, he was like that. And they was talking about jokes about, yeah, you can poo everywhere. It don't matter no more.
What are you talking?
That's what they
Oh, yeah.
said. They said you can poo
He
anywhere
could be
you want
crapping in his pants right now.
to. Poo any way you want to, and nobody could care.
Yeah.
So anyways, they go sit in the
In the
theater.
theater.
Nice old time theater too. This old guy's playing like the organ.
Yeah.
Getting everybody ready.
He's the
like,
Bradford Howe pre-show show.
He like, "Boo-dum, dum, dum, dum." He's rocking out with it too, y'all. It's
Nobody's
amazing.
staring
Should
at the
got more of
curtain.
that guy.
People are still staring at the curtain instead of looking at this guy.
Y'all don't need to look at me. Just listen. Rocking it out for him.
It's like, okay. Now, you, Jay, you pick somebody, and I'll try to guess. Boyfriend's got to guess who she wants to trade places with. So he's looking around, and...
I got it. How about that girl right there in the yellow dress? No, what girl?
You point her out? What
Right
girl?
there.
You
There's
mean
no girl
at the
there.
entrance?
Yeah, right there.
I don't see a girl.
Obviously, he was
You?
pointing at the entrance, so it was standing in one spot.
Well, we don't know. It's entering the auditorium, coming down the aisle.
He looked-
That's
that
why he got
camera-
nervous.
That camera established it was in the doorway of the auditorium. It did that one shot. It was not following the shot.
No, it wasn't following it initially, but obviously it was somebody walking in because it was long enough shot where there was a little bit of aisle.
There was a close-up on that section of the opening.
But you could see a little bit of the aisle, so it's implied that somebody could go. We're getting it from her perspective. She's just staring at the door where he last pointed.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I will believe you if we get it from her perspective.
Yeah, we're getting it from her perspective. She's just looking at the door because there's less place.
Okay.
But he's seeing yellow dress anyway.
Okay.
It's like, oh, is something wrong?
It's like, oh my God, we gotta leave now. I want to go outside. I need to get some air.
We just paid for all this concessions. Crap.
You do it. I want to see this movie. No. We gotta go. We gotta go. Stomach is bubbling. I need to go. There's a bathroom in there. No, I don't care. I need to go home.
Start walking across the street. Is something wrong? Did you see an old girlfriend back there? Talk to me, Hugh.
He's like, shut up. When we get in the car. After they drive off, he drives her home. And then we get the scene with her and the sister walking down the street, which we already explained.
Talk about
Yada.
Hugh smoking, Greg's hitting on him, blah, blah, blah. She's going to go on another date tonight. Kelly asks, have you done it with him yet? It's like, no, but I think I want. He wants to.
So she's putting on her makeup, put on her nice dress.
By the way, this movie has this video game synthesized soundtrack.
It was like those old school 70s movies. Made me think people like this, critics like this, because it's playing on their nostalgia for these old 70s types of movies. Anything that had that style like that, they'll love. They'll eat it up without caring about the story of the film. Yeah, just a lot of crazy electronic sounds in a film. Every now and then they'll do the Paranormal Activity small bass rumbles while it's silent, like the... You know what I'm talking about?
I guess that's the only way you could communicate to modern audiences is that the ghost is coming near now, is just turning the subwoofer up as loud as possible. Just shake the auditorium.
Shake it for him. Shake it for him. All right. Do we see them on their date? Yeah, we do. They in the diner eating. And then you see something walking and you see her head pop up, even though it could have just walked in and grabbed. Maybe he saw it and they had to go out immediately. We didn't watch that part of the film.
Might have actually been her first time because we lingered on her in the mirror, kept zooming in closer and closer, and she kept getting more self-conscious and looking down. So this might have been the first guy she decided to sleep with too. What a bad...
It was not, because she made a confession later on in the film that she slept with Greg in high school.
So it's just jitters.
She really likes him. Aww. So they're on the date eating. You see people walking in the background. You see one walking towards the diner. Her head pops up in front of the shot. That's it. Then we cut to them in the middle of nowhere in his car making sweet love under the moonlight sky.
Next to an abandoned warehouse.
Next to, it was a abandoned just...
Next to a
was
graveyard.
Was it a car parking lot? Yeah. Next to a graveyard, next to God knows what else. Creepy. So they finish, and he immediately gets out of the car. They don't cut him. Dude just immediately gets up. He goes to the trunk, opens the other door, gets on top of her.
It's like I always fantasized about being old enough to drive off and have a boyfriend and just be together and enjoy each other's company, go on dates, be with each other, just have someone I can trust and be...
He's like, shh, no tears, only dreams. So, what would they call that stuff?
And then the camera pulls away from
It's
that
my favorite
flower
pickup line. I love to use it. Chloroform. That's what it is. He used a chloroform rag on her.
Then the camera slowly pans away from her little dream flower she was playing with. This ain't no dream no more.
Shit got real. So we wake up. Or she wakes up strapped to a chair in her undies.
It's a wheelchair.
We didn't know that at first. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know it was a wheelchair.
You could tell it was a wheelchair.
I could not tell it was a wheelchair. I thought she was in a regular chair until he started rolling it. Movie doesn't do a good job of establishing shit. Did they have the camera set up on something that was attached to the wheelchair?
Yes, it was very cool.
She'll start moving and the camera will start shaking.
Yeah, so the audience can feel what she's feeling.
What else? She wakes up. He was walking around with a flashlight. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Get ready to play a game. He explains the rules of gremlins to her, and she tells him, what are you doing? Just listen. So this thing's gonna follow you, okay? Don't let it kill you, because if it kills you, it's gonna kill me. It just goes back down. Also, you can pass it on to somebody if you have sex with them. I passed it to you. Just hold on a second. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna wait for it to come. I want you to see it. Sure enough, he's like, oh, here it is. He starts rolling the wheelchair over, and we see a naked lady just walking towards him. Very scary monster in this movie, y'all.
Who is that?
I don't know. Some lady.
Who is that?
Some naked lady.
Who is that?
Lady with boob.
Who is that?
The boob lady.
Who is that?
The boob monster?
Who is that?
I don't know. Anyways, it's coming towards her. He's like, I want you to see this. And instead of untying her immediately, oh, by the way, they're on like the 4th floor of this abandoned building. It gets in the room with them. He waits for her to get in the room with them, like walks up, shines a light on it.
Starts bouncing it off her breasts.
Yeah,
like,
man.
ooh, look at this. Ooh.
He's like, oh, look at those.
Stop playing with it and untie me, please.
Yeah, like I guess he wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to come directly to him anymore.
Verifying that it really did pass on.
He's like, walking. Oh,
okay, we're good. Okay. But you do see it's walking towards you now.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, making sure you know what's about to happen.
Look at this. This crazy thingy.
Don't let it kill you. As he starts rolling the chair, and I don't know how they got down. Did we see how they got down?
Did you just roll the chair? I don't know.
He pushed it down. So she had little bruises on her. He just knocked it down. She just tumbled down a cliff.
Meanwhile, Kelly, Paul, and Yara are playing Go Fish or something.
Some children's card game.
It's like, so
on the porch.
I wonder how her date went.
They're like, yeah, what the hell? They ask where she is. Where's Jay? She's on her date still. Oh, I wonder how it's going.
Oh, we're laughing because Hugh just goes pulling up in his car.
Hugh pulls up like, oh, there they are now. He gets out, and you see him pull something out the back seat, set it down, and the sister's like, is everything okay? And he just says,
ignores them.
It's like, don't let it get you. And he drives away.
And as his car gets out of the way, you just see her in her bra and panties in the middle of the road. He just left her in the middle of the road.
That's what happened.
It was like, oh my gosh. What did he do to you?
The middle of the road.
Smash cut to the police being there. It's like, so you're sure it was consensual?
She's like, yeah, it was. Well, we'll find him, I promise. There's no detective on this case. Police didn't give a shit. Well, they did have a quick shot of 2 cops where the scene took place at. Found her purse and a wheelchair.
And then they looked at each other like, case closed?
Case closed. Let's get out of here.
That's what they did.
We did it.
Whoa, we the best. We the best. Go ahead, go ahead.
Detroit PD right there.
She did report that, yeah, there's some naked lady who was with her.
Like, did you know the naked lady?
No, but I do now very well.
Never her before.
So she goes to class.
Yeah, she's living her life normally. Now she's all messed up, traumatized by this. A little depressed, scared to come out of her room.
There's a nice lady reading in her college class at the front of the room. Something relevant to the movie's theme.
Yeah, she was reading quotes from the Bible. And as she's sitting there, she sees out the window this old lady walking towards her. And as soon as they get a close-up shot of the old lady who's reading these Bible passages says, and I am Lazarus who will rise up and seek revenge. She says something crazy like that. I'm like, I don't remember Lazarus saying anything like that in the Bible, but okay, whatever. Something crazy like that. As soon as it zoomed up at the old lady walking, make sure you know this the monster.
And the clue that Jay had that this was the monster was that, one, the old lady was just walking around in a hospital gown. Oh yeah, because she had gone to the hospital and maybe she saw this old lady previously while she was at the hospital checking for STDs he possibly gave her during this encounter. So this old lady's just walking through this college quad in a nightgown and no one's paying attention. She walks right between a couple having a picnic in the quad. They don't react at all. She's like, this must be it. The one that follows.
What am I gonna do? He was telling the truth. So she starts walking in the hallway, turns around, sees the old lady walking towards her.
2 chicks hanging out right next to the old lady.
Not caring, to just walking towards her. She's like, hey, excuse me.
The chicks look around like, no one else is here. You must be, you
bitch.
Talking to us?
Well, I don't know you.
Hey.
Get away from my purse. She runs away. Like Andrew says, she drives to the ice cream shop that her sister and Paul works at. I got the name right. I forgot what her sister's name was.
And Paul's like, hey, you ever see the movie Compliance? Let's go to the back closet.
Whoa! Yeah, they went in the back closet and she starts telling them, yeah, there's this strange lady walking towards me. It's like what he said. He said it was going to follow me and it was going to take different shapes and stuff like that.
That's crazy. Let's have a It Follows slumber party. Paul, you can sleep on the couch.
Yeah. Paul was like, I could stay over.
Sleep next to you.
And they was like, no. Yeah, Paul was like, yeah, I could just come sleep in your bed with you.
Kelly's like, you ever see that little robot in Revenge of the Fallen? That's Paul to you, humping Megan Fox's leg.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be humping your leg. Don't let him stay over. It's like, maybe just on the couch. Like, all right.
Paul's like, that's all I need.
Yeah. Paul goes, not Paul, everybody is at the house. It's late. Everybody's trying to go to sleep. We see Yara and a sister in her room. Yara sleeping on the floor on her Game Boy shell, typing away with the Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, Paul's downstairs looking at an old 1950s sci-fi movie with these guys fight lizard people and a giant pterodactyl. It was looking pretty cool. I wanted to see that movie.
Jay comes in.
I can't sleep. Can I stay down here with you? Like, sure. She gets on the sofa.
There's some feet tension.
Paul's got that feet fetish. He's like, ooh, girl, you don't know what's about to happen.
Are we gonna sleep on the same sofa? Cause, ooh.
Yeah, get closer, get closer.
I'm burning now.
Just love me till you don't know how. Oh.
You remember whenever we were kids, how we used to always hang out all the time? Why don't we do that anymore? Jay's like,
you know why.
I know, yeah.
I don't know what they were referring to. What were they referring to?
She tells him, you were my first kiss. He tries to play coy, but then it's like, nah, you were my first kiss too. She said, and then you immediately kissed Kelly, her sister.
Oh.
Yeah, she's like, that's a little gross, kissing somebody else's sister.
Nah, my boy was trying to do what he do. You know what I'm saying?
No, Jay thought it was
Yeah, she thought it was gross because he kissed her sister. So, she need to get over it.
Well, I assume that's what the rift that formed between them and why he hangs out with Kelly instead of her.
Yeah, Paul was trying to get both of them. Shout out to Paul.
All of a sudden, crash! Paul, go check it out!
Yo, best part of the movie. We hit the window, something breaks. Like, oh my God, Paul go see what it was. Paul like looks at it like, are you crazy? Bitch, I ain't going out there.
Don't you want my feet?
Like, what? Me? Yeah, you just go out there. Go see what it is. Okay. Just walks in.
There's nothing in the kitchen. Maybe I can check upstairs. Hey, pay no attention to this ominous two-door thing behind me. I'm sure nothing's gonna come busting out of that.
Yeah. So he's like, I'll go wake your sister up. Because apparently his sister didn't wake up from the glass breaks.
Hey, how about you offer to bring her with you? What the fruit is happening? I'm just gonna leave you alone now that you're more vulnerable than ever.
He leaves her downstairs by herself, all scared and nervous. She walks into the kitchen to go see. She's looking around and she just sees this girl peeing on herself for some strange reason. One boob out, a rape victim or something? What was that?
She just really had to go to the bathroom. I don't know.
And so the creature's peeing on itself. It's like, hey, psst.
It almost, did it look like a brunette version of her almost? It looks very familiar, but with buck teeth.
See, I was trying to look at IMDb and see if they tell you all the different people who play him, because I know at the end of the movie they listed the people, but the IMDb doesn't. I don't know. I thought it had like a cleft lip, kind of just like a busted lip. Or that's the mouth it was making.
I was just looking at the Bugs Bunny teeth.
Yeah, it was like, was it one side of the lip like that, or?
Nobody can see it.
I know nobody can see the face. She immediately does a scream in slow motion, because, that style of film, that'll go well with the critics.
You're criticizing the movie for using slow motion in the first encounter?
No, it wasn't the first encounter. We had plenty of encounters before that.
Oh, remember that horrible part in Terminator 2 where Sarah Connor opens the elevator and they use slow motion because she saw the Terminator?
No.
Oh, that was horrible. Using that style, it's fooled people for years, Raymond.
We've had encounters before. You know what I'm talking about, the way this movie was shot.
This is a face-to-face encounter right
here.
The
way this movie was shot. I didn't like the way it was played up. It wasn't to my taste, okay, Andrew?
You prefer a jump scare?
No, it wasn't a jump scare. We saw it already.
I didn't say it was a jump scare. I said, would you prefer a jump scare?
No, the jump scare already happened with the glass breaking.
So that doesn't stop other horror movies that do jump scares every single 2 seconds.
Gonna jump out again. She runs upstairs, goes to her room, closes the door, locks it. She knocks on the door. Oh. Paul knocks on the door. Like, hey, wanna have more feet time? She opens the door for him and the sister come in.
The thing is in the house. I saw it in the kitchen. It's like there's no one in the house, sweetie.
There's no one in the house. I seen it. I looked. No, you guys don't believe me.
You can't go back out there. You just can't go back out there. Close the door. Don't open it. Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Who is that?
Hey, I think I left my shell in there, guys.
The Yara was like, what are y'all doing? They open the door.
Don't open. You can't open the door. No, don't open the door.
It's Yara. Calm down. They open the door. Yara's like, man, it's all this racket about. And then Yara, this tall dude's like, ooh, let me bite your neck, Yara.
Jay's like, ah! She just jumps out the window.
Jumps out the window. Starts running down, hops in the car, and drives off.
Ghost!
So the tall man, somehow he slips past Yara. I guess she walked through the door too, right?
Yeah, she walked through the door at the same time.
What happened if Yara didn't walk through the door? Would it push her out of the way?
Yeah, it would have pushed her out of the way. We established it will interact with other people if it's in the way.
But what if they don't know that they're being in the way? They only interact with people who are purposely trying to get in the way. So would it have had push Yara?
I don't know. Maybe it was going to be patient.
It was going to be patient?
Maybe
I think
it would have been patient. But Spray's getting away.
It's stupid. She just runs out screaming, hops to the car. Meanwhile, Greg sees this. He's in the car with a lovely young lady himself.
They had previously seen them acting crazy through the windows. Man, those people are crazy.
They nuts.
And they cut to him again. It's like that couple in Christmas Vacation. They bad stuff just keeps happening across the street.
So anyway, she runs in the car, drives off to another ominous location late at night in the park, sitting on a swing set. Just sitting on the swings,
listening for noises. Here's some leaves blowing.
Late at night, there's only one light shining on her.
And she decides to let go for just a second and enjoy her bare feet on the sand and swing for a little bit.
She's a shadowy figure. Stops. It's Sister Paul and Yara. Like, what's wrong with you? Oh my God, I saw it. Scared me. Then they look. Here comes Greg walking up to him.
You see that guy? You see that guy? Yeah, it's Greg, fool.
Calm down.
Hey, did he really rape you? what's the... That's the first thing he asks her. Not, are you okay? What did he do to you?
Greg was trying to get to the bottom of this.
We need to get far away. It's like, well, I got a car.
Yeah. So they immediately drive off with Greg. We gotta find Hugh. He gave the police an address, but he used a false name. So they go to where he was staying at in this abandoned house, looking around.
It's his fortress. He's got it all rigged up. Tell him when it gets there.
It's got cans and bottles on the windows in case tried to walk through.
My pirate alarm!
Oh, God.
Everything's boarded up like signs.
It's got no baseball bat, though.
And his room's in the attic, right next to all his tissues.
There's another little jump scare. She opens the closet and her sister's on the other side. The wall falls off. They scare each other.
And they don't say anything, and they just walk off like...
Like, okay. And then Paul's upstairs, sees where he slept at. He's got all these nudie mags with tissues on them. Paul's nasty self touches them, picks them up.
Flipping through the magazine. Jay comes in, doesn't even care. Paul being Paul, he just wants to look
Paul,
at them.
so you like it what you see there? I was like, yeah. I really do.
Flipping through, and he randomly finds a bookmark in the middle.
A mysterious picture of Hugh and some girl who's wearing a Letterman jacket. They recognize it, know what school it is.
Jinkies. I bet that's that school. Let's go interview the librarian.
Yeah. Apparently, you gotta be the Scooby Doo bunch because the cops went there and they didn't give a shit to bother to look around. Maybe they saw the napkins on the nudie mags like, I ain't touching that shit.
Yeah.
Even though they have gloves and shit and they're supposed to package everything for evidence.
Bring in the hazard crew.
Yeah.
So anyway, we start spinning around in a hallway while they're talking to our librarian. We're just spinning around this high school hallway. During one rotation, we were able to look out the window. We see some random person walking towards them, and the base starts lifting, and we keep spinning, and then we turn to the other people who are still interviewing the librarian. It's like, oh no, this person's gonna walk in, and then we cut to another scene.
Yeah. They get in the car, but that same person who's walking is walking towards us. It's like a girl, but she doesn't recognize that that's it, and they just drive off.
Paul's like, hey, did you alert anything?
Yeah, they got Hugh's real name.
My name's Jeff.
Hugh's real name is Jeff.
That's Hefe, man.
It's Hefe. So they get Hugh and Hefe to go. They go to find Jeff's house.
We go find you. We go find you.
So apparently Jeff just decided to go home to his mom. They go there to his house.
They knock at the door.
They knock at the door.
Mom just opens the door to all these strangers just all over the lawn, spread out like they're about to assault her.
Yeah, they're all outside the car, posed up on the car, their arms folded and stuff like that, just looking like a gang.
Greg's near the driveway. He could run over at any second and do some damage.
She's like, yeah, come on in.
Oh, your friends want to come in too? Oh, they could come on in too. I'm sure since you know my son's name, I can trust you to come into my house. There's a scene missing here that's kind of an interesting scene where she has to confront the man who did this to her.
Yeah, he doesn't get mad and be like, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
We just instantly cut to them in the backyard.
Yeah, like, you're gonna bring it here. It could kill us both in one swing. Are you an idiot? Nothing like that.
Should saw that scene.
Cut to them. Everybody's cool with it. Kumbaya in the backyard, right next to his soccer field, too.
He tells them the same shit he already told her whenever he first gave it to her.
It would have been something if maybe he didn't explain all the rules at the beginning and he just pointed out that there's a lady who's gonna follow you. Don't let it catch you. If he didn't explain all the rules because he was panicked. But yeah, he does repeat it all over again for everybody else. And then a great part happens where this woman just starts walking towards all of them and Jeff's getting all worked up like everybody else is just talking and it's like, do you see this woman?
Do you see her? Do you see that girl? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
That girl had headphones on, though. So I don't know why he was panicking. Does it when it decides to do its ditto thing?
It can manifest
transforms.
clothes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It could do either naked or clothes, but it can't do accessories.
Why couldn't it do accessories?
I
Clothes
don't
or
know.
accessories?
It can't do headphones. It didn't do what's her name? Spoiler alert, glasses.
Well, I don't know.
Anyways, they devise a plan to go to some random beach house that belongs to somebody in Greg's family, I guess.
Well, Jeff's advice, the one piece of new information you got from Jeff is that it's always coming towards you, but it's always walking. So if you really need some time to decide whether or not you want to pass this on to somebody else, you just need to drive somewhere far away, give yourself time to think about it, because it's always going to be walking. It's going to take it 5 days to get to you if you go far enough.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's walking and it's slow, but it's not stupid.
Well, he said that when he was explaining the rooster in the beginning. He's like, never go anywhere that only has one exit. It's slow, but it's not stupid. It runs off. Why didn't he finish explaining these rules to her in the car while he was driving her to her house? I don't know.
Well, apparently he drugged her again, or
No,
I guess
my
not.
God. She was awake. So anyways, they go to the beach house. She's learning how to shoot a gun. Greg's telling her, I should have been nice to you. She automatically shoots the box when she gets mad thinking about him.
We don't learn why yet. And then everybody's chilling on the beach.
Oh, yeah, we get to the scene that has something happen in it.
Oh, Kelly's showing herself off, just lounging around.
Kelly was the sister, huh?
Yeah.
So anyways, Kelly's sitting on a beach.
Man, you don't even react to that?
What?
You're not even going to react to Kelly just floop?
Are you sure? I don't remember.
Wow, you don't remember that?
At this point in the film, I was just like, please hurry this up. We see Kelly, Paul sitting down, Greg sitting down. Shoot, I forgot the main character's name again. Jay sitting down. They're talking. Greg gets up to go pee in the bushes. As Greg walks behind Jay, we see Yara coming towards them in the background. They establish the shot, Paul's side profile, viewing the ocean.
Yara's coming up behind Jay. Go back to profile shot of Paul, and then all of a sudden you see Yara on the little floaty device out in the ocean. Hey guys, you should come into the ocean! And then the bass noise is like, oh snap!
And then you see Yara behind her. Guys, you ready to go get in the pool? Jay, you ready to go get in the ocean or the beach or whatever it was?
Already on the beach.
A lake.
It grabs her by the hair.
Yeah, so we see it from the other people's perspective. They look at Jay, her hair just raises up in the air. It's like, what? Oh my God! She starts moving around.
Help me.
Help me. You
And
just
then
see
Paul's
her
like,
being
Dr.
pulled. So Paul grabs his lawn chair and WWE's it, smashes it, and then it just kicks him to the side. She got loose after he did that?
Yeah, she got loose. They run over to a little boathouse.
She runs to the boathouse where Greg keeps the gun, grabs it. What if they were in the house when this thing attacked? They all start running to the boathouse too. Greg's like, what's going on, guys? Greg's chasing after him. He's far behind. The Yara is walking towards him. She pulls the gun out and starts shooting at the Yara while all of them are in the boathouse. She shoots it in the neck. Bam! It drops. Then he gets up. She's like, nah, I'm playing. It ain't that easy. So she closes the door, locks it. Oh, while she shoots, Greg is in the background, hide behind a lawn chair so he doesn't get shot.
Stop shooting! Busted that doggy door.
Wasn't the doggy door already there, or is it just...
There wasn't a doggy door. It kicked in doggy door size hole in the
He made
bottom
his
of
own
the door.
doggy door. Greg got up to the door. He's like, open the door. He was like, no, it's out there. He was like, no, it's not. And he goes away. Then you see the tall man that you saw beforehand walk by the window. And then what happened? You don't want to explain?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, they're just standing, they're just looking at the hole. Then all of a sudden, the creature comes in. It's like, oh, look at me. She runs to the garage door of the boathouse, pulls it open, runs around.
The whole time?
Yeah, why didn't it go that way? I don't know. Anyways, and she runs around. Whoa. She goes to the car. And I was just transforming to this girl walking towards her.
It's Annie.
Who was it?
Girl got killed at the beginning of the movie. She turned into Annie.
What? That was the girl in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her because she was in a white dress and not in her heels. She hops in Greg's car, starts driving down the road. This truck backs out. She swerves to the cornfield, hits her head on the dashboard, and breaks her arm. I don't know how. I know how long it takes for ambulance to come to a scene of that kind of crash. Apparently it decided not to go towards her at that point. We wake up with her in the hospital.
There's a huge suspense scene where they have to carry her down the road that we missed.
She wakes up in the hospital, sees everybody sleeping around her. She's nervous. She hears footsteps. Oh my God, it's coming for me. It's just a nurse walking by.
Very thoughtful friends just left the freaking door open, decided to go to sleep even though they know what this thing's capable of now. They saw it. They actually have proof that this thing was alive and happening.
It hit Paul, broke the door open, so they know that she's not crazy now.
Greg wakes up, gives her the look.
Wow. That's right, it did. And then it automatically cut to this shot of people in their rooms, and then to their room, and Greg decides that he's going to sleep with her.
I'm gonna jump on this grenade.
Now, let me break the fourth wall right here myself. In horror movies, people complain about characters doing the stupidest things ever. Out of all the horror movies I ever seen, this had to be top of the list. Why? Just so you could get some?
He didn't believe in it, and he just wanted to get some.
He didn't believe in it. Everybody saw that. Paul was like, did You
Well,
see
the
me
very
go
next-
flying across the beach?
Just a couple scenes later, after a brief montage, he comes over and he's like, yeah, some weird stuff did happen at the beach house, but I don't know, guys. It doesn't seem like anything's following me. It didn't sound like he actually believed what was happening still.
Oh my god.
Because he was taking a leak. He didn't witness the whole chair thing.
Okay, so he was that character in the movie then, huh?
Yeah, the guy who didn't see what exactly was happening. All
So
he saw.
all the rest of them were just crazy too, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
According to him. Yeah. So he just decided he wanted to get some, and he slept with her. So she passed it on to him. 3 days goes
Montage
by.
of-
Yeah, he's flirting with other women and stuff like that. Nothing's really happening.
Chilling at the mall, eating hamburgers, just living life.
Having a good old time. Nothing's following me.
Jay is still completely paranoid.
He's in her house, locked up, got a chair by her door, scared out of her mind. He walks up to her sister and the friends on the porch. Yeah, I think it's all right. Judging by the way they had the shot set up, I swear, I thought we were just gonna see it from their perspective, but he was just gonna like break in half. It didn't happen, y'all. Very missed opportunity. So he goes home.
It's midnight. Jay can't sleep. She's just looking out of her window, watching Greg's house in the middle of the night.
She sees Greg walking in his pajamas. She knocks on the window, no response.
She doesn't even suspect it then. It's like, oh, he's going up to his door. That's a little strange at midnight in his pajamas. He can't open the door.
Pulls on the door.
I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. He walks over to a window.
Goes to a garden, pulls out a rider, smashes the window open, and then just like body flops inside the house.
It's like, I don't know. I'm still a little bit iffy, but maybe I'm going to give him a call.
Hey, Greg, pick up the phone. He doesn't answer. Apparently he's in a deep
You've
sleep.
reached the house of Greg.
The house of Greg. I'm not in right now. Please call me back.
Please
Thanks.
leave a message.
So she runs over to his house.
This is a good idea.
Yeah.
If he's already been taken out already.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
you're
Oh my
screwed.
God, he's already dead. Now you're probably gonna get you now. She body flops inside too, where Greg went in. Goes up the stairs and she starts hearing the little knocks that is doing on Greg's bedroom door.
She has an encounter with it in the hallway.
Yeah, she looks. It's another lady.
It's Greg's mom.
Was it Greg's mom?
Yeah, in the form of Greg's mom knocking on the door.
Nude with boobies.
Doom. And then she looks over at her like,
You got something to say? You want to do something? What you gonna do, player?
nah, I'm cool.
No. Greg, don't open the door. Greg opens the door anyways, and he immediately lunges at her.
Mom, your nipples out.
Mom, what are you doing? Lunges at him. The lights are flickering and whatnot. She's on top of him, dry humping him. They gave us a crotch shot to make sure you know there was just a dry hump. It wasn't penetrating at all. Grabbing his arms and whatnot.
There's
Is there
some
a liquid?
there's some sort of liquid. She was like oozing Vaseline or something out of her arms onto him.
I assume that this thing was just sucking the soul out because of the electricity, the EMP or something. I don't know.
guess so, yeah.
So that's what it does. The
Just
creature
drained him.
kills you by breaking up your body and sucking out your soul by dry humping you. I'll give that to you one more again. The creature dry humps you to death. Shall we move on?
Okay.
All right. So she runs out. Whose car does she take now?
I told you it's her car.
It's her car?
It's her car.
Well, she takes her car finally. In the
There was
movie.
no reason to drive that station wagon with Greg just because she wanted to. Because Greg was
Drives
brave.
off, and you see Pajama Greg walk out of the house again, walking after her.
I wanna kiss you all over and over again.
Where did she drive to next? I can't remember.
She drove out into the woods just to get away, and she fell asleep.
Oh! She was on the hood of a car in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Apparently, this creature is very nice. When you fall asleep, it doesn't come after you.
No.
Yeah.
She just drove far away. She drove for a long time. There was a montage of her getting increasingly upset.
Oh my God. How far did we know how far she drive?
The creature walks 2 miles per hour. You drive 25 miles, and you still got a mile to spare in 12 hours.
This creature's stupid.
It's not stupid. It's just slow.
Oh, don't say that line. Anyway, she wakes up, hears music playing, walks down to another beach, sees 3 guys on the boat.
It's like, gotta do what I gotta do, I guess.
And one of those pornography scenes that nobody ever thinks happens. And she just takes her clothes off and just walks in the water towards them. And we don't get to see her with 3 guys. It just cuts to her crying in her car, sobbing. Wait, so would it attack all 3 of them, or would it just attack one of them?
I'm assuming only one of them did it, but maybe they all 3 did it.
You can't just, it's gonna be all 3.
Well, all 3 didn't last very long.
So people could pass it on to multiple people?
No,
So
they
it
must
had
have
to
had
been
sex
just
with
that
each
one
other.
guy.
Whoever the first one was.
So the guys had sex with each other?
Unless they did that, then no.
So
it would have
one of
just
the
been
guys,
one.
just one of the guys.
Whoever
got it.
went
The first
first was
guy got
unlucky.
it. Damn. Anyways, She drives back home, told him that she did that, bought herself some time.
We forgot to mention that Paul was really jealous after he found out that Greg slept with her.
That she goes home and they're all sleeping in her room with her, and then Paul walks in and is like, why'd you pick Greg? Because I thought he could handle it. What'd she say?
Because he was brave, and I had been with him once before whenever we were in high school, so it wasn't that much of a big deal to do it again. And then he was like, well, I'll be there for you when it starts to follow. I'll be there for you.
Greg wasn't brave, he was stupid. So my boy Paul tries to go in for a little kissy kiss and gets friend zoned to the max in a horror movie where the only way to survive is to have sex.
Well, she just did, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
He's saying, I can help you, and she's like, do you really want to help me? She's worried that he just wants to have sex with her too. She's just disgusted with herself and how she's just dishing it out to everybody, and now the one person who actually cares about her, she doesn't want to give it to him.
Yeah, she refuses to give it to him because she cares about him, quotation marks. So, what happens? Did they devise this plan?
Yeah, it's like, okay, we gotta do something. Do you trust me? Paul has his plan. Do you trust me? Remember that spot where we had our first kiss? At that pool? At our high school? Yep. I think it's time to get the old gang back together.
So anyways, they all take their bags and they drive to this abandoned pool.
Whoa.
What?
You skipped something very important.
What did I skip? That was so important.
And as they were pulling away, there's just some naked guy standing on our roof.
Oh, apparently it took out that guy already. She's driving and naked dude's just there. He's like, hey, swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that booty.
Now, we never found out who this naked man was.
Probably somebody the monster killed early on.
No, I mean, who was he? It's not the monster. The monster is always walking. This guy was just a naked man standing on a roof. The monster would try to break in downstairs. This naked man is just a naked man.
That's why I said in the beginning. Remember he said that the girl standing right there in the yellow dress? So obviously it just stands around. So you saying that this wasn't the monster this time?
This can't be the monster because the monster wasn't walking.
That's right, because it would have jumped off the roof and went after her.
Yeah.
Started walking
or
after
it wouldn't
her.
be on the roof. Why would it be on the roof in the first place? It would just go through the downstairs like it always does. It knows about stairs. There's no reason for it to be on the roof.
I'm telling you, the rules to this thing makes absolutely no sense. It's stupid. He saw a girl standing. He didn't see it walking. And she sees the man standing.
But I'm willing to give that one leeway because we never saw it.
Okay. Fine. But we see this one. So you see this?
Yeah, I see this one.
It's standing there naked.
So it's not it. It's some random naked guy on a roof.
It's just an escaped mental patient.
On a roof. Should I warn my parents about this? By the way, where are my parents during this whole movie? Where's my stepdad and mom?
That's what I thought towards the end of the movie. It would, the last time she confronted it, it would transform into her mom because you never saw the mom's face. You saw mom talking to like one of her friends and her face was turned. Like they never showed the mom's face at all. You got the mirror shot of the mom sleeping too, but you never saw the mom's face. So I thought that's what it was going to be. Nothing like that happened. You just never saw the mom at all.
It was the dad though.
So you're saying that was the dad?
Yeah, it was the dad at the end. Spoilers.
It for the swimming pool part?
Yeah.
Oh
Spoilers.
My God, it was not the dad. Are you sure?
It was the dad.
How do you know?
She didn't want to say who it was, and then they have this lingering shot of the family portrait after that scene happens. It's the same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the father.
See, when she said that line, I thought we was going to see a grotesque, deformed person. Anyways, we go to the pool. They set up this elaborate plan to try to kill it. They're setting up all these electronic devices all around the pool, plugging them in the wall. They're going to throw the electronic devices in the pool. When it gets into the pool, they'll push it in and electrocute it.
Lamps, toasters, irons, everything just all lined up around the pool.
Everything old-fashioned.
And everybody's just going to take turns on their side, just kicking them all in.
And an electric typewriter. I've never seen that before.
It's the future.
Everybody's on their sides waiting. She's in the swimming pool waiting. It's the final confrontation. I was excited. I was like, oh my God, they're trying to kill this thing.
The Mystery Inc. They got a plan. How are they going to catch the ghost?
I kind of felt disappointed with this whole setup thing here. This is what happened. So she's sitting there, like we said. She's like, oh my God, there it is. It's walking. Where? There it is. Like, what do you see? She's like, I don't want to tell you. So that's why I thought it was going to be grotesque. We're not seeing it from her perspective. We're seeing it from her friend's perspective. Where is it? It's right there. It's just standing there.
Not walking into the pool?
No, it's just standing there. Oh my God, it's moving. Keep pointing. Keep your finger pointing at it. Where is it? Where is it? And then they look, and a fan lifts up by itself and just throws it at it.
So obviously this creature's like,
It's
I see what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, it really is.
I am not stupid. Here, you can fry. And just starts tossing all the appliances.
Around. But I guess when she's in the middle, so whenever it's tossing him in there and getting unplugged.
Yeah, they're getting unplugged.
He's just
whacking
like
her in the
picking
head
up
with it.
TVs and all kind of stuff, just smashing in the head in the pool. Meanwhile, they're trying to figure out where it is. Paul gets a gun and starts shooting.
Tell me where it is.
Tell me where it is, right there.
It's right in front of you. And then Yara's like, wait.
So Paul tries to shoot at it.
Nicks Yara in the leg.
Yeah, he nicks her on the leg. Like, right there, don't get too close, don't get too close. And then we start seeing it from her perspective, and it's just a guy picking up stuff, throwing it at her. Whenever Paul goes up to it, reaches his hand out like this, like, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Shoots it in the hand.
I guess he like one hand chunks something at her while he's doing that with his other hand. Like, don't touch. If you touch me, I'm gonna touch you back.
Kelly's like, I guess I'm the smartest one in here. Let me grab the blanket and throw it on his head.
Kelly grabs the blanket, puts it on his head, and
Paul Dano's like, dodge this.
And it falls into the swimming pool. She shoots it in the head, falls into the pool. They see the blood from it, don't they?
Yeah. Maybe not.
No, they don't see the blood
they
from
just
it.
see the blanket fall into the pool, probably.
They just see the outline of it. Yeah, the outline of everything fall into the pool. She sees the blood.
Then Jay's like, it's in the pool. And then Paul's like, yeah, I didn't think about that. Swim! Come on! Survive! Swim!
So she's swimming away.
Swim away.
Gets out of the pool.
She doesn't get out the pool.
Oh, she doesn't get out of the pool.
Yeah, she's about to, and then
it grabs her, pulls her down. She was under there, we're trying to get away from it. It's holding onto her leg. Paul starts shooting at it. Paul gets the luckiest shot ever and shoots it in the head again.
I was expecting him to just shoot her in the head by accident.
That would be great. Then what would have happened? It would have been mad that it didn't get to dry hump her, so it would have dry humped all of them?
No, it just would have gone on to the other guy in the movie.
Anyway, shot it in the head. She gets loose, gets out the pool. I guess it did something to her skin. You see the hand mark of it, like a burn almost. And you're like, is it still in her? Is it dead? She looks at the pool.
They make her crawl back to the pool.
Yeah, something. Oh my God, it's about to be a jump scare.
It's gonna drag her in.
Yeah, grab her and pull her in the pool, and all she sees is heavy blood coming from it, and that was it.
I guess we're good.
God, these people stupid. Anyways, next thing we cut to her. They're back at her house. Her and Paul finally get it on.
In the middle of the pouring rain.
Then Paul drives and goes picks up hookers to pass it on to them, just in case.
He didn't stop. He just looked at him.
He stopped, Andrew. Trust me.
He kept going. He thought about it, but he didn't do it.
He pulled back around. It was supposed to be one of those surveying the area type things. He passed it on. He did, because they had a lot of time. They're just living life. Her and Paul are walking down the street, and we see Paul in the background. The end.
There's a guy following them in the background.
It was an outline of Paul. The end. General thoughts?
Yeah.
I didn't like this movie at all. I did think it was stupid. I don't know why it's getting all this praise just because of the way it's filmed, how it's shot, the cinematography of it, I guess, because of that old school 70s style, and it has that crazy 70s soundtrack type thing, those loud techno noises and stuff. The story of this is pretty stupid. Characters make stupid decisions. Greg sleeps with her, even though we know that that's how you get it. That's stupid. You're going to die. She shot it in the neck once before. Electrocuting the thing was pretty smart, but after shooting it in the head again, they probably should have threw some electricity shit down there too, just in case. They didn't do that. Paul was stupid for sleeping with her. Nobody thought, like I said, don't know when this film took place. I guess in their universe they don't have horror movies. You know something is chasing you. It's invisible. You should be looking for somebody to contact about this. Paranormal investigator or something. None of that shit happened. Even the people in the first Paranormal Activity movie were smart enough to do that. Find something. Get some holy water. Something. Find out what it is. And I think that's what people have problems with horror movies. They don't know the motivation of certain things. That's why people say it's stupid. This thing, I'm just gonna say it's stupid because it dry hump people to death. Why? That how you suck out people's souls? It's supposed to be a demon? Is it a demon? What is it? We don't know. A creature, a demon, something. Apparently it bleeds, so it's something. Start out as a nice concept. I just don't like the execution of it. That's all I gotta say right now. I'll chime in later if I think anything else about this.
I really like this movie. It's not a horror movie at all. It's got a horror concept, tries to hook you in as if it's a horror movie, but as Raymond pointed out at the beginning, it's very slow to get started, and it's trying to pass off all these metaphors and camera angles and stuff. At the end of the day, it just wants to be a movie with an ambiguous message that you have to figure out, oh, what does it all mean at the end? It's that kind of movie, and I think that's what critics are really responding to with this movie.
So what'd you get? What does it mean?
My interpretation of it is the face value one, where obviously the thing that's following them is death. And basically, she's just stagnant in this world, like I mentioned at the beginning. She's just floating around the pool. Life is happening around her, and she's not really appreciating her own life. She's still living at home. She's a college student, but she doesn't look like she's really applying herself or anything from what we see. She's still hanging out with the same friends from high school and everything. She's just not living her life. She's not moving forward. She's not taking any risks. And this Hugh guy is the first risk she's gonna take. It ends up causing this thing to start following her around, and this thing starts motivating her to want to live again. She riles up her friends and gets her friends active and actually involved in accomplishing something. She brings out feelings that are dormant between all these people. She has to confront what she did with Greg. She has to confront, even though we don't get any backstory about this, her father at the end of the movie, and I guess she might have been sexually abused by him or something, and that caused her to shut down. She also has to finally confront Paul and the feelings that he has and decide if she wants to move forward with it. And at the end of the movie, she decides to move forward, and while it still follows him, it being death, and death could be coming for you. I mean, Yara has this whole little speech that basically just gives away what the metaphor is supposed to be at the end of the movie. She's reading her shell at the end of the movie and says that the wounds that we experience as we move through life will keep following us, but it's not the wounds that really hurt. It's the fact that the wounds remind us that we're mortal and that someday we are going to die, and that we have to move forward always with it in the back of our minds that we are going to die and choose to live each day to its fullest. And then she takes a little sip out of her juice pack, which is, she's saying all this over the top crap, and then she just takes a sip out of the juicy pack. And then we cut immediately to Paul and Jay walking down the sidewalk, and they chose to move on with their lives, explore a new avenue, a new relationship with each other, get active again. Get active. She's no longer floating around the pool alone. Now she's walking down the sidewalk, activity with Paul hand in hand, so she's not alone anymore, and she can face the inevitability of death or whatever walking behind them, and she can just look forward with positivity. If it ever catches up to them, it catches up to them. So what? It doesn't matter that it catches up to them. At least they're enjoying and moving forward instead of just stagnating in one place. So I think it's just a huge metaphor for just live your life. Jamaican style.
I ain't get that at all. I don't understand how. I mean, she looked very happy in the pool. She was just enjoying nature. And
she looked indifferent to me. She just was staring at it.
She went in there. She told him I had a date, so she was living her life. She was going out on dates, and then she went on a date with this guy. Like you said she was taking a risk. Okay, something bad happened to her.
Yeah, something bad happened to her.
Don't take risk is the message, then, y'all.
No, but something bad happened to her, and that's what's gonna happen at first. It's a metaphor for life. Something bad's gonna happen to you the first time you take a risk. You don't know what's out there in the real world. They even had a scene earlier where they talk about how I just wanted to go to the fair, but our parents were so overprotective and they didn't want us to risk going past the bad neighborhood because something might happen to us. But eventually they did, and we had a good time at the fair. Something bad could have still happened to them, and I guess this is a metaphor for that. Yes, something bad happened to her, but then her friends came together, they worked it out together, they got through it, and then something eventually positive happens and changes her life, and she's at a better place at the end of this movie than she was at the beginning, even though the threat of death is still looming.
Thing happened to her?
Her relationship with Paul. The whole movie's about that. She finally gets together with Paul. She's no longer alone facing this. She knows that someone truly there and understands her. She doesn't have to have meaningless sex with all these guys after her father sexually abused her whenever she was young.
Her father didn't sexually abuse her? We did not get that.
She was horrified by the sight of her father, and he was in his boxers walking towards her in the pool. Well, not in the pool. He walked around the pool and was throwing stuff at her.
People interpret this differently. That's what Andrew got from it, that she had that backstory. I didn't get that backstory at all. I didn't get any of that from this movie about a metaphor for life. You call the creature or the monster death. Death just dries, humps you to death, I guess. I don't like it. Not a smart horror movie at all. They just throwing out a bunch of random bull crap.
Did you admire it at all for not relying on jump scares? Except for a couple times. There were just 2 jump scares in this movie, and the rest was just letting shots linger until something starts to happen.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. You talk about, I don't understand how the whole Lazarus speech related to this. The whole Lazarus rising from the dead thing that the lady was giving when it zoomed in on the old lady portion of the monster. So I don't understand how the other speech is related to this. Just a bunch of jibber jabber from characters. None of them were living their life after this. They all decided to just help her. They seem to all be fine before, farting on each other and everything.
That's not them being fine. They're in this, I mean, they have each other, but at the same time, they're just sitting around, not really doing anything with themselves either. Whenever the highlight of their conversation is just one of them farting, and then they have a good laugh about it.
They just seem like regular college kids who were enjoying themselves on like a weekend night.
I don't know. They weren't enjoying themselves that much. They just playing Go Fish. And the job didn't look that good either.
That's because it's a horror movie and everything's supposed to be this ominous tone to it, but I don't like the way it was done at all. It's just not very good to me.
It's a horror concept trying to trick people into seeing an art movie, an art house movie. It's not really a horror movie. It's 1/3 a horror movie and then 2/3 an art house movie with fancy cinematography.
I mean, old school cinematography. Because that's the only reason why critics like shit like that. Because somebody will use some past trick that they used to do and think from the 70s on back to the 50s or whatever. People just go crazy on it. Oh, I love it. How you feel about the techno loud noises and stuff? These random beats.
It was weird, but I kind of dug it.
No. It was very weird. I guess that went along with that 70s style of film, but
yeah, I guess so.
And it seems like that's what they wanted to do, but Yara and her shell just pulled me out. I don't get it. What's the metaphor for Yara? What is she, the angel? What is she? She's got Wi-Fi. I want to know. Do you know what's the metaphor for Yara?
It means that these themes, they exist without time, Raymond. This movie seems to be happening in the 70s, but clearly Yara is a modern girl with modern technology.
Oh boy, had 70s pornography magazines too.
Yeah.
I ain't like this film at all. At all.
Hey, if you guys like flashy, lingering cinematography that is a bit showy, as Raymond says, and you like long takes, don't like jump scares, you like art house movies.
Yeah, for all the art people who
Yeah.
like the, all those fancy type things like that boring shit. Yeah, that's for you.
You could not sit still in this movie. You were just going crazy off to my left. I was like,
I was
actually
moving around and trying to keep myself awake.
Yeah, I assumed that was what was happening. I guess
like,
he must
oh
be
my
really
God.
sleepy. Like, he's constantly
Please.
like, you would take off your sweater, you put your sweater back on, then you start scratching your beard, then you start scratching your head, then you start wiping your nose, start taking a sip of your drink, and you just kept doing that over and over again during all these scenes.
What is happening?
It's
I don't know.
man, I'm slightly enjoying this movie, but there's a lot of wrestling to my
Because
side
Raymond
here.
was not enjoying it.
Yeah, it's nothing amazing. I just thought it was good to see a movie with a message, and it wasn't a movie I was expecting. I thought it was going to be some horror movie, and everybody's raving about this as some amazing horror movie. I guess they're really raving about it because it's not actually a horror movie. So if you're going in there expecting a horror movie that's going to hold your attention the whole time, fast-paced with energy and jump scares, this is not that movie at all. And Raymond's completely justified in not liking this movie because he wasn't expecting this movie, and he probably doesn't like movies like this anyway. He was false advertised to and forced to sit through something he didn't want to see.
I don't. Yeah, false advertisement.
I was pleasantly surprised because I was expecting to be on the edge of my seat and have to deal with a bunch of jump scares, and instead I got an art house character movie instead of a horror movie.
Ugh.
Raymond is right. They wasted a premise for an actual horror movie for this art house movie that they made. Man, I really wish we could see the full potential of this premise. I guess now, if they make It Follows 2, they'll make it in a style more like a regular horror movie.
Yeah, maybe that had the creature moving slow thing. Maybe that was part of it too. Yeah, I'm used to horror movies where the things will move faster or stuff like that.
Well, I guess it moving slow is more of a psychological thing. Like, it will always get to you, and you can never escape it. All you can do is just keep moving every once in a while. But it will get to you eventually, unless you find someone to be with. And then you don't have to deal with it alone. Now everyone that you've been with
So you
will
have
to deal with it.
sexually transmit death to people? That what this message was? I still don't get it. I don't get it. Andrew explained it to y'all the better way. I don't get it.
I mean, I guess all the people who had sex are now, that's a metaphor for them all being connected. Like, a piece of them was given to the other, and even though they didn't end up together, that person is always in their mind like a wound or something, reminding them that they need to find something better out there for themselves. And so the dad scarred her at a young age, I assume, based on, if we're going with the whole sexual assault assumed backstory, and she's been trying to move on ever since. She's afraid to get with Paul because Paul's the one person who actually understands her, and she thinks that once he has sex, he's gone just like the rest of them, and that's why he denies Paul the sex. This guy actually cares about me, and if I give it to him, he's just gonna leave too.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe death in that sense is just the people just leaving her after having sex with her. I don't know. It's like, it's
don't know
representative
either.
of flings, maybe.
So this is a big movie for hold your sex for love only or something like that. What you telling me?
It's about a girl trying to deal with her sex life and come to terms with finally being with someone who matters, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically, this is an art house horror concept romantic movie, kind of. Without the romance. A teenage drama, almost, instead of a horror movie.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on it. I would give it 2 stars out of 5. Yeah, I think it was a wasted concept. The creature seemed very interesting, sort of, kind of. We're transforming to different things and walking towards you. The way it killed the one guy we saw actually get killed by it. Lights were flickering and that ooze, wish we could have got some kind of explanation for this. Yeah.
Maybe he was sexually abused by his mother too. Maybe it forces you to live out those memories or something.
Everybody who was sexually abused gotta get attacked by this monster?
I guess so.
That doesn't seem fair.
Because it was weird that it was the mom who did it. He saw his mother who did that to him.
Are you sure?
I'm sure it was the mother. I'm not sure what the backstory is. We can only guess.
I just saw he thought it was his mom, and then he opened the door and just saw a naked lady looking at him. So I guess if you want to think it was his mom.
He said mom?
He said mom. No, he said mom, why you knocking on or whatever like that. Then he opens the door and they just looks. He said say mom after that?
I think he might have said mom again. I think it was his mom.
Okay.
What a way to go. Crap.
His mother dry humped him to death.
And that would go along with the sexual abuse metaphor. The mother just sucked all the life out of him, damaged him, wounded him permanently whenever she did this to him whenever he was young. And that's just a metaphor for when that happened to him.
I guess.
And maybe he committed suicide that night in real life. Maybe this whole It Follows thing is just in her head, and she's creating it to deal with her disgruntled sex life after Greg and that's why she slept with Greg, because Greg related to her because they were both abused by a parent when they were young. And they were emotionally vulnerable, and they could relate to that, and they confessed that one night, and then they made love to each other to comfort each other.
When did they confess to each other they were both abused?
I'm creating a backstory, Raymond. I am solving the mystery of this movie.
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, Andrew's backstory.
And Greg committed suicide. It follows, sir, the it doesn't exist.
All right.
This is all in her head having to deal with stuff.
Okie dokie. Andrew has laid it out on the line. Raymond is just not keen to film metaphors.
You're not keen to discuss this.
And piecing the puzzle together.
You want to piece the puzzle together?
That's just Raymond's just not that, y'all.
Okay. It doesn't get you excited at all.
To know about these people being hardly abused as kids?
Yeah.
No, it does not get me excited at all.
No, just deciphering what the movie meant.
No.
Where's the secret weapon you need him? If Tristan was here, he would be on my side, I think. I think Tristan would be on my side.
I wanted a horror movie and I didn't get it.
That is true. And I can agree with you there. This is false advertising, this movie. And you have every right to not like this movie because of that. It's an ambiguous, lingering, slowly paced character metaphor thingy instead of a horror movie. So I'll give you that. Most people will not be pleasantly surprised like I am. Most people will have Raymond's reaction. So everybody should probably listen to Raymond on this review.
Don't listen to me. Just check it out for yourself. And if you get what Andrew is trying to say here, then you get that. But other than that, I don't know. Why did she go back to Hugh's place there? What's the metaphor for that, going back to Hugh? Do you have one for that or just no? Why does he have to explain the rules to us so many times?
Everybody lives with their parents in this movie.
Oh, my Lord. Here we go. Well, I think that's all I have to say.
All right.
2 out of 5 stars. If you're looking for a horror movie, this isn't a horror movie at all. You will not enjoy it.
Or you might be pleasantly surprised by the curveball.
Maybe you like that type of shit. All right.
Whoa. I did. Thank you.
Andrew liked it. Y'all might like it too.
The wonderful, gimmicky cinematography is all over this. Very nice cinematography.
Very nice. I didn't like the cinematography at all. I just have a theory on people that do that kind of stuff. It's just a cheap trick to play on critics' nostalgia.
I thought it was effective and served the story.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
And the story that you claim there isn't any.
There's no story in this movie at all.
The way people were positioned was giving you their feelings and their story and helping you feel more isolated. Lots of objects being centered in the frame while there's a bunch of negative space around them. Show how open they are and vulnerable. It's like a lot of fun stuff, like the flower. She was dealing with the flower, and then we zoom away from the flower, like, uh-oh, we're going away from that dream she was talking about. Cinematographer was having a ball, Raymond. Having a ball. Don't upset this man. He was just really happy to put into practice all the stuff he read in his cinematography textbook in one movie, and so he did it.
Yeah.
He was
I think
excited.
he was just going along with it while he was filming this, while they were doing it, because...
Hey, he was just trying. He's like, hey, I studied all my terms and all my cinematography stuff. I want to put it into use in one movie. Show what I got. This might be my last gig. I got to make it count.
Sure. What is his last gig? That was his last movie?
No. I said he might think it's his last gig, so he's got to make it count, make an impression.
Oh. I was just reading up on news. Coach is making a comeback. Y'all be excited for that with Greg T. Nelson. That's the article I read. Oh, you got to have a Spectra teaser trailer tomorrow.
Okay.
Yay. God bless Iron Man. God bless America. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good note to end it on. For the Parking Lot Projectionists, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Raymond.
Shutting it down.
If you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me.